Hello, everybody, and welcome back to PSF2 here in PSGL. It's round 7 of season number 40, and we're here in Qatar for the last race before we roll into a break week next week, and then we'll have the final 5 rounds all in a row. I am Ghost, as always, here with my co-commentator for this season, Nathan. How are you doing, Nathan?
I'm good, Ghost. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. It's been a good week of weather racing in other leagues and doing various things. So it's good to be back though for PSGL. Hello to Bill Buzzington in the chat. Good to have you with us. But we're about to get started here in Qatar. And Nathan, the standings are looking quite interesting at the moment, aren't they?
They are very competitive at the top as well, but pretty much wide open. And then after Qatar, we've got the break, and then going into the final 5 races back to back. It should be an amazing rundown to the final race of the season. Qatar will be interesting as well. You've got the sort of free-flowing circuit here, very flat as well, very open. You'll see a lot of them overtakes, a lot of wheel-to-wheel action and battling. And then you've got, just for good measure, that huge DRS straight down towards turn 1 for the perfect overtaking opportunity. I think it'll be very similar to Hungary, where you're locked in that DRS train, but it'll be a little bit more open for the drivers, where they can take a few more opportunities, more than what they could in the Hungaroring.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to ride on board with Richard Vicker as he's going to take us on a lap of Qatar. He was quite impressive last week in qualifying, his first time in PSF2 this season. He was quite impressive. The race didn't quite go to plan, but he's down the gears now into turn 1, hoping to make amends as he heads around the bend in towards turn 2. It seems to be never ending, this corner. You always want to get the power down, but it always feels like it's going to be too early. But navigates it perfectly fine. Now the double right hander of 4 and 5, really tricky to get perfect because you've got to absolutely send it. Richard's done quite well there as he heads down into turn 6, slowest corner on the circuit, nicely navigated from the Red Bull driver as he now heads into the middle sector. Turn 7, another corner that seems to be never ending, but finally gets to the apex and the exit. Now 8 and 9 both flat out into turn 10. You've got to get the power down as early as you can without losing the rear, and Richard Vicker has done exactly that as he now heads into the high speed triple right hander in sector 3. Turn 12, 13 and 14 all flat out as he heads through. Now turn 15 flat out if you're brave enough. Not sure if Richard Vicker did, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did at this level of drivers. As now final corner, turn 16, nicely navigated again from Richard Vicker, but I think he'll be disappointed he wasn't closer to the inside, and all the way down towards the start-finish line. A 1 minute 20.206 from Richard Vicker. Nico Rassenberg 6/10 back, Jensen a second back, so that time is going to take some beating by the looks of things.
Yeah, it was a really good lap there from the Red Bull of Richard Vicker, and then Nico Rassenberg came through. Jensen Lars Kramer comes through with a 1:20.666, so he comes through to take P2, but it was a great banker lap for Richard, and he sets the benchmark with 14 minutes to go. And then we have a Ferrari, I think it is, of TRT Christian that will be next out of turn. The tank DRS just before the line, and it's up to P3, splits the two Kick Sauber drivers, and then we do have another Red Bull, I think it is Goonbuster in the Racing Bull, that is coming to the line, and he goes P2 at 1:20.6, so Richard Vicker has definitely set a high benchmark there.
Yeah, very good stuff from Richard Vicker. Buster a long way back. You might know Buster as formerly Chris RBL, so he has changed his username for better or worse. Ivan Eskrig goes to P2 in the meantime. Had a very disappointing race last week at the Hungaroring. Did not go to plan at all for the former championship leader, but he's back on the front row as we expect him to be. Dylan Hogland, I'm not sure. Dylan in the McLaren goes to P3. I'm sure he'll correct me in the chat afterwards if I said it wrong. So his first foray, by the looks of things, into PSF2 as well, as Namsko goes to 4th place. We've got the Alpine of VNT Tom now coming to the line, a very popular face in the chat. Won 2 weeks ago in Silverstone, very much in contrast to all his other results this season. But Qatar looks like it might be another track that suits him. He goes into third place for now, as his teammate Sepala also coming to the final corner.
Yeah, he is indeed. So all the drivers really looking to get them bankers on the board, but there's a huge disparity between a lot of the lap times at the moment. You've got Kevin Zunneberg in the Mercedes that will be next to the line. So he's just coming out to know he's into the pit lane. He is into the pit lane. So there is Kevin Zunneberg, Sepala and Zvardek, who are yet to set lap times here in Qatar, but there's still plenty of time remaining for the drivers. But it is the Red Bull of Richard, Vic and Ivan Eskrig that go 1-2. The Red Bulls have been super impressive this season, especially the likes of Ivan Eskrig, and then his teammate Richard Vic comes in and absolutely smashes it. Did a fantastic job last week in Hungary, and now once again starting where he left off.
Yeah, I think he got a bit unlucky last week in Hungary. His qualifying was very strong. It was his first race of the season in PSF2, and then the race could only manage P7. I think he got the short end of the stick with a few of the things that happened that race. But he's back on pole here in Qatar for now. Ivan Eskrig will be looking to make amends as well, because he was the championship leader heading into Hungary, and then obviously that race went far from ideally, ended up with a DNF, so no points last week for him, and Lars Kramer took the lead of the championship as a result. But with the Sauber driver down in 7th for now, Lars Kramer needs to find some time here in qualifying, because Qatar, it may not seem like a track at first glance that qualifying will matter a lot on, but it really, really is, because if you get stuck in a DRS train, especially with the dirty air on this year's game, back down in sort of 10th or so, then you're really going to end up in a bad position, and you've got an awful lot of work to do. So qualifying is going to be crucial, but like you said, Nathan, the times further apart than we're used to here in PSF2. Usually we're seeing extremely close times up and down the field, but today 6/10 between 1st and 12th is a lot more than usual.
Yeah, the gaps just seem absolutely wide open. I mean, the track is a little bit longer. It's 1:20 per lap, and you'd expect the times to be closer with the free-flowing circuit. There's not many areas that you can lose quite a bit amount of time. Very much like Austria. You expect Austria to be super competitive and super close. And you'd expect the same here. So we are riding on board with Nico Rassenberg, and we will take you round one of the Kick Sauber's laps. He's currently in P11, so down towards turn 1, he's using that outside curb, and then he'll just ease his way in, feather that throttle back onto it, and just touches that battery ever so slightly in towards turn 2, and then using every inch of this circuit as we go in towards turn 3. Back onto the throttle, just using a little bit of that battery again to get up to speed, and then round the double right-hander at turn 4 and 5. Down towards sector 2 now, towards turn 6 at the left-handed hairpin. It is purple sector 1 for the Kick Sauber driver. So out of turn 6 down towards turn 7, and then he'll just use that circuit to his advantage as he goes around there, trying to get out of there as quickly as possible, and down towards turn 10 at the left-hander. This is where he's got to be careful that the back end doesn't slip out from underneath him, and then round turn 11 up towards sector 3 at turn 12, the triple right-hander onto the throttle, and he's used a lot of that battery now, and he'll just save that last little bit to come out of turn 16. So through turn up to the final chicane as he burns that battery once more, and then he'll leave that last little bit for that last little bit of run up towards the line. He'll empty the tank now, down towards the line. Nico Rassenberg is a 1:20.5 and P5.
Yeah, good lap there from Nico Rassenberg. Big improvement, and he was indeed flat entirely through turn 15, as I imagine most, if not all, of the drivers will be. I'm just riding aboard with Kevin Zunneberg here, as he's a 56.6 in the middle sector. Let's see what he can do in the final sector. There's other drivers who are finishing their laps before him, but with Kevin Zunneberg not having a lap on the board yet, I just want to see what he can manage to start off with. as he comes around the final corner and down towards the start-finish line. It does get a lap on the board, and it's a 20.4. It's not bad at all. Top 5 for the Mercedes driver. What about behind him? That is Lars Kramer, championship leader, goes onto the second row, and I'm sure plenty of improvements incoming. We've got the Alpine of VNT Tom starting a lap now, and then it's going to be the Ferrari of TRT Zane, but invalidates at the final corner, unfortunately for him, so he'll be disappointed with that one. IRT Sieb then will be the next one. Last season, sort of up and down in form, sometimes impressed a lot more than other weeks, but he improves by a 10th, but interestingly not enough to get himself up any positions. He stays in P10 as Brian Amos' teammate goes to 8th place. And then we've got the Alpine of, I believe that's Sipala coming through the final corner, but he's invalidated again. So still no lap on the board for M. Sipala, and the pressure is now definitely on his shoulders to get something on the timing screens. We've got a Red Bull coming through. That's Ivan Eskrig. Is there an improvement from the former championship leader? You bet there is. A 20.0 to go. Nearly 2/10 clear of his teammate at this point, and Richard Vicker not improving right now, so it's all going to be on the final laps to see if anyone can beat that outrageous time from Ivan Eskrig.
Incredible there from the Oracle Red Bull driver to take provisional pole by 2/10 of a second. As you said, Sapal as well in the Alpine. What was going on there? He's invalidated it. He can't get another lap in. That is going to be so costly coming to the end of qualifying. I'm just trying to find if there is a driver on a lap, and I think it's Namsko. Oh, he's invalidated it as well, and into the pits he goes. So Namsko in the Aston Martin also